Hey guys, Christian Senior back from CNH Smalls again for another informative service and review video here. Machine I got in front of me here today is I believe it's a 2013 Cub Cadet machine, because that's when the guy told me he actually bought this machine. He brought it to us primarily because he said this past week, whenever he was actually cutting grass with it out there, kept on bogging out and dying out for him, and he suspected either something wrong with the fuel system or something else was wrong with the machine that he could not, check out himself, because he didn't want to take it apart and, screw up something on here. And he brought it to us, so we checked it out for him, and we found out the auto choke and the carburetor were malfunctioning on here. The primary reason was because he had debris in the tank, and they have a small, we want to call small filter in the actual tank. It sticks up from the bottom of the tank. It's sort of like a Honda style design where it sticks up about 1.5 inches, so it actually sucks gas from above the bottom of the tank. So rather than laying in a tank and there and sucking up the debris in the bottom of the tank, it sticks up about 1.5 inches, so the likelihood of picking up debris is less likely from having that kind of design right there for that. And he has a Chinese style engine on this machine here. This machine is Cub Cadet signature cut series. It's the SC100 series to be exact. It's a 3-year warranty. Has a Chinese sourced 159cc performance tuned engine, as they call it on here. And he brought it over here and we checked it out for him, and we replaced the auto choke mechanism on the exhaust side, and we also replaced the actual carburetor on here as well too. These auto chokes are a unique design on here. It's not similar, or I should say it's similar to the other Chinese engines. However, they have a different design altogether on here. This auto choke has 2 mounting bolts on the muffler over here, right here, guys. And what it does is you almost have to have like a small child hand to even get an actual wrench down there. It's a 10mm wrench on here to get behind the 2 bolts right there. The actual first one isn't too bad to get off. However, the back one is a real pain in the ass to get actually in and out of there for that. So if you're going to take it in and out, I recommend putting some anti-seize or Loctite, or I should say, just put an anti-seize on there whenever you're reinstalling the 2 actual bolts, because you never know when the customer might bring the machine back to you again in the near future for any kind of unknown reasons. The other thing is the actual linkage. It goes over for the auto choke on here. You have this rod right up on top here. This rod goes across the top of the engine right here, and it goes over to the auto choke side right here as well too. And they have a unique auto choke design on the top of the engine exactly. They have a small rod that goes up and it goes over here. Let me see if I can give a better shot here. They have a rod that goes in the back right here, guys, and this rod goes up next to the flywheel, and it has a little wind vane, sort of like a we want to call lawnmower governor style system on here. Well, this one, whenever you start the engine up, typically the engine will have the auto choke in the choked position. However, once the engine starts heating up, the choke position, or I said the auto choke, will open up gradually on here. And if you pull the engine over real fast when you're actually starting up, when it's typically warm out here, the vane they have over here that's actually linked to the auto choke mechanism. Let me see if I can flip it up here on a better angle for you guys. Okay, let me see if I can get a better picture here for you. Sorry about this bad light out here, but they have a little rod right down inside here. You probably can't really make it out. Anything. You try to move this thing out of the way here. It's a teeny bit. There you can see a little white plastic thing right here. This thing moves back and forth right here. That little white plastic thing right here, guys, see that? That moves back and forth, and what it does is whenever your flywheel is spinning, it puts out a bit of a we will call wind, and it pushes against that wind vane right there, and it kicks open the choke position to the full choke off, so the choke is open all the way, and it's getting as much air into the carburetor as possible. Okay, and I'll give you a shot of the actual engine's mauler and information on here as well too. Made by MTD, I should say made for MTD, made for MTD precisely on here. An MTD consumer group right there. It's a displacement 159 cc, emission compliance 125 hours, and it's a meets California emission controls for 2014. Date of manufacture 2014. So the guy wasn't giving me too much honest truth about the actual date when he got it, because I think he claimed it was like 3 or 4 years ago. He couldn't give me a specific date or time, but that's what he was claiming to me, so I don't know exactly, guys. So that's everything about the engine right there. It's a Chinese sourced engine right here, and there's the 10W30 for the actual dipstick tag as well too. And I'll give you another shot of the side over here as well. I'll back it out here for you. There is one thing I need to mention, guys. If you're going to be working on this machine yourself, just be aware of the fact that there's a possibility, if you don't know how to take off the auto choke linkage mechanism, what I was telling you about before, you have this white. Let me see here. You can see where my thumb's at right there, guys. See where my thumb's at. You have a, like I said before, wind vane, and you have a little a rod going down from the wind vane down to the top of the carburetor. It is very, very possible that if you don't pull the wind vane off and the carburetor off at the same time, it can possibly crack the actual plastic. I'm going to call it the adapter that comes out of the top of the carburetor and goes over to the linkage right there for that. So you have to be extremely careful when taking this carburetor design off the engine right here for that. So just be aware of that fact if you are going to be working on this machine yourself. And plus, the other thing we found over here as well is the actual carburetor and the auto choke are quite expensive. We had to buy them directly from MTD. I was trying to look online, multiple sites, try to get the lowest price, and they were about, I think, about 60 some bucks, I think, for a new carb assembly, plus the shipping and handling and tax. And the auto choke was another, I think, another 20 some bucks right there as well too. So just be aware of that fact. This isn't like one of the other Chinese engines out there that typically have the cheaper, like $20 or $30 carb runner. This one is a bit more expensive, to say the least. So I'll go ahead and fire this thing up here for you guys, and you can see it running as well too. So bear with me here for a couple seconds. Let me get my hands over here for you guys. Hold on. So that's the review for the Cub Cadet push machine here. I'll give you actual tag information here from the back of the machine here. This is a Cub Cadet. Let's see, zoom on in here for you guys. There we go. Model number 11A-A92J7110. Made for Cub Cadet. And that's what it is for you guys right there, the actual tag information for the machine. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to leave me a message here, and I'll try to get back to you probably within 24 or 48 hours after you post some kind of a quick question or information about your machine. I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.